Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today starts another reading vlog, so stay tuned. Katniss has decided this is where she lives now. On my shoulder. So it is the start of another reading vlog. I have been super busy filming all day. I literally spent the entire, I got up and I showered and I did my hair and makeup, and then the rest of the day was spent filming. When I wasn't filming, I was taking a break to eat lunch and then taking a break to eat dinner. I did 6 videos today, so I've been very busy. But my in-between time, when I've been like eating and stuff, I did continue listening to The Passengers by John Mars, and this book is so good. Like, I highly recommend the audiobook. I mean, you can see that there's like articles and stuff and news reports and things like Twitter feeds and like BuzzFeed things and, oh, where are you going? There's even like playlist type things, like it's called Stream That Tune, create your own soundtrack to the hijacking. So it was really entertaining. There's lots of formats going on, but this is about, okay, so this is sort of a little sci-fi. It's kind of in the not too distant future, and cars are, there are fully automated cars and they're becoming the norm, and this is set over in the UK, and they're saying within the next decade it's going to be mandatory that all cars are fully automatic, controlled by AI. There's no like manual overrides or anything like that. You literally just get in and the car drives you. The car knows how to avoid accidents and makes decisions on if there is going to be an accident, what causes the least amount of casualties and things like that. And they're going to require that to be like the norm car once this thing passes. And in the event that there is a car accident, there is a jury that is held to decide if it was the AI's fault, like something wrong with the computer, or if it was the fault of, say, the other person that was involved that wasn't a car. Because the cars don't crash into each other. It's like pedestrians or things like that. And it's usually found that it's the person responsible and not the vehicle. And they're in the middle of one of these cases and they're trying to decide who the responsible party was, when all of a sudden I think like 7 different cars have been hijacked by, like, the computer has been hijacked on these fully automatic cars, and they're being controlled and told that you have a new destination. It's being routed for you. It's like 2.5 hours away, and in 2.5 hours you're likely to die. And it's almost done like it's a reality show. It's streamed all over social medias and things like that. And they're putting it in the hands of the public as well as those in this jury board to decide who lives and who dies in these cars. And some of these people were just randomly selected. They got into a fully automated cab and got stuck in this. Others were selected on purpose, and they have secrets to hide, and those secrets come out, and there's just, this is really good. There's a lot of twists, a lot of things you didn't really see coming, and it was just like, what? And I really enjoyed it. And again, I highly recommend the audiobook, and I give it 5 stars. So this actually completed my TBR Knockout prompt for dark themes, because there was definitely some dark themes in here. Oh, also trigger warnings. There are some serious trigger warnings. We have suicide, we have pedophilia, we have polygamy, drug use, domestic violence. I think that's everything. Depression. Yeah, I think that's everything. This has got a lot, but it's really, really good. So my dark themes prompt. This also was my Cards Against My TBR game. For the answer, J.D. Power and his associates. So I picked something car themed because that's like the marketing thing for cars. So I decided that this week I'm also going to do my other TBR Knockout prompt. And for that, I'm going to do 3 Dark Crowns. I was told that I do need to do this before Queens of Finburn because there are things in this that will spoil stuff in here. And even though I have technically read 3 Dark Crowns before, I don't really remember it because I was recovering from surgery when I read this and I was all doped up, so I don't remember much at all. So my plan is to read this for the prompt, dark in the word, like dark in the title, or a dark word in the title. It can be dark, it can be black, it can be night, it can be shadow, anything that's dark. And so 3 Dark Crowns. My other reading plans for this week, I would like to also read Queens of Finburn. I want to read Hunger Games and Catching Fire. And I have 2 things I'm kind of buddy reading. One is with my little buddy read group, and that is the second book, not this whole thing, but the second book in here, which is The Marvelous Land of Oz. It starts back here. So page 189. This is just like the author's note and stuff. And it goes to page 389, I think. This has 3 books in it. But we're doing a buddy read of that, the second book, the 5th through the 10th. So this week. And then I'd also like to continue Siege and Storm with Marty because he is off. Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. He's off, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we should hopefully be able to get some reading done. I really would like to finish this, if possible, this week. So I'm starting out the week 1 book down already and aiming to knock 6 more out of the way this week. Fingers crossed. Don't know how well this is going to go. I was going to also try to do another buzzword, because I did my buzzword last week when I did Dreamfall, but I was going to do When Dreams Descend this week because I have until the 7th to complete any dream words. But like I said earlier, I filmed 6 videos today and I have 6 big videos to edit throughout this week. So I'm planning on editing every single day. So I didn't want to throw in another book. Anyway, my battery's flashing because of all the filming I've done today. So I will just talk to you tomorrow. So I don't have a whole lot to update you on today because I spent a lot of the day running errands, and then when we got home I spent another large part of the day editing and another large part of my day shopping for cars online. So Marty and I decided to try Carvana for the first time, and it's all an online thing. So you can trade in your car online and you can buy a car online, and oh my goodness, we ended up buying a car online today. And we did like an online trade-in of my car and bought a new car, and it'll be here next week, and I'm so excited. But I'm also like really nervous because what if like the amount that they said for my car, because you fill out this information and then they tell you here's the value we're going to give you for your car, and then they haven't even seen your car or anything, and so they pick up your car when they drop off your new car, and I'm worried like they're going to take my car and get it back there and be like, oh no, it's not worth as much as we gave you, and send me a bill for like thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, oh, a little nervous about that because we've never done this before. But I'm super excited about the car. Xander it's the car that Xander really wants. And so he's going to wake up tomorrow and freak out when he finds out that we've bought this car, because this car is going to be the car that goes to Xander later. So he's only 14 right now, but in a few months he will turn 15, and when he turns 15, then he can get his learner's permit and start to learn how to drive. And what we did with his sister when she was learning was we ended up getting her the car that she was going to be driving, and she learned to drive on that car. And we wanted to do the same with him, but we also didn't want to get him a brand new car. And this car is not even going to be brand new to me because it's a 2018. But I will be driving it, and then he'll learn how to drive in this car, and then when he turns 16, this will be his car, and then I will get a new car. But I can't believe we got this car for him. Or, I mean, it's for me, but yeah, it's gonna go to him. And I don't even want to tell you what it is. You'll have to watch next week's vlog because it's coming next week. It will be here at my house on the 12th, and oh my gosh, it's a pretty car too. But let me tell you about my reading. I haven't done much. I have read just a tiny bit more of Three Dark Crowns. I'm only on page 117, so haven't gotten far at all. I did start book 2 of the Wizard of Oz series. This one's The Marvelous Land of Oz, and I read the first 5 chapters, so I'm on page 225 of this. But apparently I wasn't supposed to start it until tomorrow, so I'm a little ahead. But I do have a little bit of book mail here. I can tell it's a book, and I know who it's from, and I'm super excited. Okay, so on New Year's Eve, actually I should back up. When we did our After Hours live show, the one following the one with Kristen Simmons, me, Clint, and Kaylani, we all got really, really drunk. And Kaylani ended up making some nachos, and we were all like, ooh, yummy nachos. And then Clint goes and makes some nachos, and I'm just like, I don't have any nachos. No nachos for me. And then on New Year's, when we did the live show, somebody made a joke about nachos, and I said something about not having any nachos. And Barbara tried to do a super chat and do like $5 for nachos. And for some reason the super chat didn't work, and so she ordered me something, and it has arrived today. And I told her I wanted to wait and open it when I was filming. So what do we have? Okay, her note here says, a gift for you. I hope you love the book, from your favorite drink knitter. She drinks something, when we're having our live show, she's always drinking something called knitting juice. There's a lot of alcohol in it, but she calls it knitting juice. And the book she sent me is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. And this is so cute. This says, Carrie Duncan has worked for home remodeling and design gurus Melissa and Rusty Tripp for a decade. A country girl at heart, Carrie started in their first store at 16, and more than anyone would suspect, has helped them build an empire. With a new show and a book about to launch, the Tripps are on the verge of superstardom. There's only one problem. America's favorite couple can't stand each other. James McCann, MIT graduate and engineering genius, was originally hired as a structural engineer, but the job isn't all he thought it'd be. The last straw, both he and Carrie must go on a book tour with the Tripps and keep the wheels from falling off the proverbial bus. Unfortunately, neither of them is in any position to quit. Carrie needs health insurance, and James has been promised the role of a lifetime if he can just keep the couple on track for a few more weeks. While road tripping with the Tripps up the West Coast, Carrie and James vow to work together to keep their boss's secret hidden and their own job secure. But if they stop playing along and start playing for keeps, they may have the chance to build something beautiful together. From the hilariously zany and heartfelt Christina Lauren comes a romantic comedy that proves if it's broke, you might as well fix it. And I think this is going to be super cute. Oh, and it's very floppy. I love a floppy book. Oh, it looks like, oh, this is gonna be fun. It looks like there's text messages and like Twitter threads and things like that. Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's only like 303 pages, so this will be a quick, fun read, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Barbara. I'm gonna put your note in the book so I'll always know who sent this to me. Thank you. Okay, it's really, really late and I have to go to bed. Yeah, tomorrow Xander starts back to school and I'm gonna get like maybe 6 hours of sleep, probably not. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. So I haven't really gotten much reading done today because I've pretty much been just editing, though I did work out today and I'm very proud of myself for getting back on the healthy train. My legs were like shaking like crazy afterwards, and it was just like a 15-minute workout, but oh my goodness, it was rough. But I do have some book mail here. This was sent to me by the author, and she sent it to me for an honest review, so I thought I would show it to you guys. And I think I may actually try to read this in this week's vlog, possibly. I know I had other things that I wanted to read, but I didn't think this would come until like later in the month, so I might just curl up with this tonight. And this is Alicia in Atlantis, The Forbidden Vial by Nathalie Lane. And this says, it's not unusual for 12-year-old Alicia to lose control of her emotions and create a scene at school. It is unusual when she's then attacked by a giant frog monster and plunged into the underwater realm of Atlantis in an overturned boat. On arriving in Atlantis, she learns that her long-lost father may have been from there. Determined to investigate, she stays and enrolls in Atlantide School, the Octopus's Garden. But uncovering the truth is not easy when the tyrannical Atlantide Emperor forbids asking about missing people. With the help of her newfound school friends, Alicia will have to steal evidence from a grumpy teacher, escape from rebel merfolk, and make rhymes with menacing blue people of Minch to discover the key to her past. Meanwhile, someone knows exactly who she's the daughter of and is ready to kill her for it. And I think this sounds so good. I'm super interested. This gives me a little bit of Nevermore vibes, a little bit of Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I'm excited for it. So I think I might do a little reading of this tonight. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you later. So it has been an eventful day. So Marty had to go to the doctor yesterday because he had like sinus infection, or we thought sinus infection, and they're like, oh, you're gonna get tested. And so they tested him, and today we found out that he has COVID. And Xander and I have, well, Xander has all the same symptoms that Marty does, and I have a few symptoms. Again, we didn't think anything of it other than like head cold or whatever, allergies, that kind of stuff. But yeah, they said since we have any kind of symptoms at all, and since he's tested positive, we had to go and get tested today. So my nose is not a happy nose after that. But I have gotten some reading done since the last time I checked in. Marty and I actually listened to just a tiny bit more of Siege and Storm. We're on page 241. We only got like 2 chapters in. I have started Alicia in Atlantis, The Forbidden Vial by Nathalie Lane, and I'm on page 121 of this, and I am very much enjoying it. Reading it definitely gives me Keeper of the Lost Cities vibes, for real. For one, they're both orphans. They both learn that they're actually from another world kind of thing, and there's something special about both of them, and also there is a big bad in both cases. This one is like, there's this emperor who's like kind of power crazy, and he has segregated all the different classes or castes or whatever, and you have to wear clothes to match your caste or class, and the more human type people are treated better than the ones that are like, there's these Munchkins and they're like blue, and apparently they're treated pretty low. And then there's also like these Grindaloos, I think is what they were called, and they're like frogmen, and they're apparently not treated very well either. But I'm very much enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. Also, they have like, the outfit she has to wear is pretty cool. Like, it can be morphed and stuff. It's fun. Also, the food reminds me of the food from Keeper of the Lost Cities. I've also continued Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, and I'm on page 301. And I'm getting ready to go and soak in a nice hot bath. My legs are killing me. I started working out again yesterday, and I did it yesterday and today, and I am in pain. A lot of pain, and I intend on working out again tomorrow, so I need to soak in like an Epsom salt bath. So I'm gonna go do that, and I think I'm going to finish Three Dark Crowns while I'm at it. I wonder if you can do like a bath bomb with Epsom salt. I don't know if that works or not. I'll look it up, and if so, I'm gonna try it because I have lots of bath bombs I need to use. All right, I will talk to you later. So yesterday I ended up finishing Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, and I'd say I give this 3.75. I understand now why, when I read this in the past or listened to the audiobook in the past when I was like recovering from surgery and under medication, like, sorry, I had the hiccups, under medication, why I had no clue what really happened after listening to the whole thing. This was hard to follow, like, so it's, for the most part, it's broken up over like locations. So we have Greaves Drake Manor, we have Wolf Spring, and we have Rawlinth. And then it's also broken up over like certain events and things like that. But this follows triplets, 3 queens. When they're like 6 years old, they're separated out. They're destined to become the queen of Finburn, but only one of them will be queen. So from the time they're 6 until the time they become 16, they're like preparing for their gift, learning their gift, harnessing their gift, things like that. One of them is supposedly a poisoner, one of them is a naturalist, and one of them is an elementalist. And they're with their own type of people. So the poisoner has been raised eating all kinds of poisonous things, and not a very healthy person because, well, she's been poisoned her whole life, and her power is weak, so she doesn't have a strong disposition for poison, so it doesn't She doesn't take it well. Then we have the naturalist, who her power is also pretty weak. She's supposed to be able to like grow things and control animals and stuff like that, and it also isn't working out very well. And then we have the elementalist, Mirabella, and she seems to be the only one that's got power, and she's got this very strong power. She controls the wind, storms, and fire, and all of this. And everybody kind of believes that, okay, Mirabella is going to be the next queen. And in their 16th year, they have this festival of Beltane or something like that, and they each show off their skill during that. And from that point forward, they're supposed to try to kill each other until only one lives. And the thing is, Mirabella, the only one that really has power, doesn't want to kill her sisters. And her other sisters are just kind of trying to figure out how to survive. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was interesting. It definitely takes some focus because so much bouncing back and forth. So yeah, I gave this 3.75, and I read this because I was told I need to read this before reading Queens of Finburn, which is the novella. And I've since looked, and apparently I also need to read One Dark Throne before reading Queens of Finburn. So I have started this, and I'm currently on page 108. So I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way through. So yeah, this is one of my Have I Read It extras that wasn't on any of my TBRs that I was going to do this month. Yeah. And then I still intend on doing this. I just don't know if I'm going to get to this weekend. Marty and I continue to listen to a little bit more of Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, and we are currently on page 331, so we only have this much left. I've continued my buddy read of The Marvelous Land of Oz, and I am really enjoying it. I know that a lot of people in my little buddy read group didn't really enjoy the original Wizard of Oz and may not be necessarily enjoying The Marvelous Land of Oz. But having read Danielle Page's Dorothy Must Die series, like all of it, including the novellas and all of that, it makes reading this much more entertaining. I probably wouldn't be as entertained by this had I not read that series first, because it's really fun seeing like the origins of that series. But I'm on page 359 of this, so I think I've got like 30 pages left, something like that. And then I've also continued with Alicia in Atlantis, The Forbidden Vial by Nathalie Lane, and I'm on page 204 of this. Very much enjoying this. There may be like a little overload of like fishy kind of things, but I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm still very much getting those Keeper of the Lost City vibes. And I've actually told my whole little buddy read group about this book, and I know that some of them have already put it on their TBRs, because yeah, this is a fun read. I'm enjoying it. I think it comes out in March if you're interested in checking it out. And let's see what else. Oh, I also got some book mail today. I have no idea what this is, but it says it's from like Solomon's Mine Books. Let me open it up and we'll see. Okay, this is actually a book that I ordered from Amazon, and it just came from like a third-party person, and that was third-party seller, and that was the Solomon Mines Books. But that is The Courage of Kat Campbell by Natasha Lowe, and this is middle grade. And this is actually, let me see, I think the second book in the series. I do have the first book coming as well. I think I also have the third one coming. So I've pulled up here on Goodreads so I can tell you about the first one, which is called The Power of Poppy Pendle. Poppy Pendle was born on the floor of the Patisserie Marie Claire Bakery in the little town of Potts Bottom. When, as an infant, Poppy unexpectedly performs her first bit of magic, her parents, Edith and Roger, know their dream has come true. Their daughter has inherited the family gift. But as Poppy grows up, she isn't thrilled about her magical talents. Even though she was born into a long line of witches, has inherited the extraordinary gifts of famed great-grandmother Mabel, and is enrolled at the exclusive Ruthersfield Academy, a school for witchcraft. She wants to be a baker instead, making yummy lemon cakes, buttery almond cookies, chocolate meltaways, and caramel crunch cookies is Poppy's passion, and it makes her happy. Poppy Pendle has no choice but to take matters into her own hands. Whose life is it anyway, she asks. And I think this sounds like it's gonna be super cute and also full of like yummy food. And I'm just here for it. And it looks super cute. As far as other stuff today, we got our test results back for me and Xander, and I currently do not have COVID. Xander, however, does. So Marty and Xander both have COVID, and it's pretty much just a matter of time before I have it, unless I happen to have some immunity somehow, because there's been lots of hugs and kisses and cuddles, and yeah, so I'm sure it's coming for me. I have also gotten editing and uploading done today. I need to try to get a lot more done as soon as possible, just in case I do get hit with this and I'm unable to like do anything. So yeah. But my goal for the rest of this weekend, besides still more editing, I want to finish Alicia in Atlantis. I want Marty and I to finish Siege and Storm. I want to finish my buddy read of The Marvelous Land of Oz. And I want to, I'd really like to finish both, wait, not that one. One Dark Throne and Queens of Finburn. Don't know if that's all going to happen, but I'm really going to try. Alright, I am going to go for now, and I will talk to you later. So I didn't end up vlogging anything yesterday because we were just busy. I had video to edit. We were scanning in a lot of my books into Goodreads, and that took a long time. I have a lot of books. I have like way more books than I actually thought I had. I was guessing I had over 1,000 books, but like close to 1,000. No, I have way more books than that. We only got about, I'd say half of my books, probably not even half my books scanned, and it's already over 1,100 books. I have a lot of books, oh my goodness. And while we were doing all of that, because it was sort of a joint effort between me and Marty, we weren't listening to anything because there was a lot of talking and thinking involved, because there's a lot of books that I had scanned in, or that we scanned in, there were books that I'd read but never rated, and I was trying to remember ratings and or just getting them marked at least, and marked, and I made like a new tag for owned things, and I also sorted all of my that we would scan in that I haven't read into like own TBR shelf. Yeah, it took a long time. Anyway, we did get some reading done though. We actually finished Siege and Storm yesterday, and I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. Shadow and Bone is the first book in this series, and I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This one I still really enjoyed, but it had more of like that second book, middle of the trilogy kind of feel to it. And because this is the second book in the series, I can't really say too much about this. First book, Alina Starkov, orphan, cartographer in the First Army, learns that she has a special skill and she is a Grisha, and then she's taken to the palace to train to be a Grisha and learn how to use her abilities and all of that, and to become part of the Second Army. And she's trained under the Darkling, and the Darkling, well, he's not such a good guy. And that's really all I can tell you about this series. But I do give this one 4 stars. And then I also finished my buddy read of The Marvelous Land of Oz by L. Frank Baum. This is the second book in the Oz series. And if you've read The Wizard of Oz, and I can't recall if this was actually in the movie or not, but at the end of the story in The Wizard of Oz, when the wizard is like doling out the gifts and everything, and he gives the scarecrow his brains, when the wizard's going to leave, he kind of appoints the scarecrow as the king of Oz, and also the Tin Man is like the ruler of the Wilkies, and the lion is the king of the jungle. And in the Marvelous Land of Oz, the castle is stormed by a all-female revolt led by General Ginger, and she wants to take over the Emerald City, and she wants to be queen, and kind of kicks the scarecrow out. And they're like, well, what do we do now? And with the help of Glinda, they find the rightful heir to the throne, which is Ozma, and get her appointed back into Oz and kick Ginger out. And I know that a lot of the people in my little group read are not really enjoying this. I personally am, but I think a lot of that has to do with having read Daniel Page's Dorothy Must Die series, and having all of that very fresh in my brain, and seeing where she drew that her inspiration for all the different stuff from these. That's a big part of why I am loving this, I think. But I'm gonna give The Marvelous Land of Oz 4 stars. And then today I completed Alicia in Atlantis, The Forbidden Vial by Nathalie Lane, and I really, really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. The last like 20 to 30 pages were very, very intense. So this follows Alicia. She lives in Scotland, and essentially she's an orphan. She lives with her, or she was living with her stepfather. Her father passed away either when she was a baby or before she was born. I can't remember exactly. And her mother was blinded in a sailing accident, and then years later she ended up passing away. And so Alicia was left with her stepfather, George. And George has now gotten a job abroad, and she is enlisted in this boarding school where it's close to the town where her mom was supposedly from, and she wants to go there so that she can learn more about her family. And pretty much her first day there, she is just overwhelmed by these people. She is an empath, so she really she's like an over empath, so she overly feels everybody's emotions and can't help but like react. So if somebody's getting picked on, she has to stand up for them, or she tends to be, in her mind, she's a drama queen, and she embarrasses herself, and she just gets so overwhelmed. She runs off, and she ends up going to this little town where her mom is supposedly from. And while she's there, she hears a siren song and follows it. And next thing she knows, she is on her way to Atlantis, and discovers that that is actually kind of where she's from. that one of her ancestors is from Atlantis, and she quickly realizes that at least her father is from Atlantis, and she wants to learn more about him. But there's this emperor that has taken over, and he is like super powerful. Like, he can move things with his mind, and he pretty much to take over Atlantis, he was like throwing guards and killing people and, you know, just bad stuff. And he's like all powerful, and he has deemed it illegal, and you could be killed for even asking about missing people. And he also has like the world is very segregated, and the emperor is very speciest. So there are like multiple different species, some more human than others, and the less human they are, the lower class citizens they are, and they're not like allowed to have certain jobs. They're not allowed to go into certain places and things like that, and that's not really cool. And this is making things very difficult for Alicia to find out anything about her family, because of all the secrets that are forced here. This is a lot of fun, and I give it 4 stars. It comes out in March, I think March 1st. And if you are a fan of Keeper of the Lost Cities, I highly recommend this. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. I can't wait for more from this author. I think this is going to be a series that I really, really enjoy. And I got just a little bit more. I know I said I wanted to be able to finish this, but I just couldn't. I did get a little bit more of One Dark Throne. I'm on page 141, so maybe a third, not quite a third of the way through. But I did manage to complete these 5 books this week, so I'm not mad. Unfortunately, let's see, Siege and Storm, Alicia in Atlantis, and One Dark Throne were not part of my actual TBR. So as far as my actual TBR goes, I only accomplished 3. So I'm gonna have fun trying to play catch up. Yeah, that's gonna be something. So have you guys read any of these books? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.